Have you been called names in the past that you didn't like?
Yes.
Do you want to expand on that?
What? What if they're so inappropriate I can't say them on camera?
Then
No, yes. This is a good one, right? So I used to do gymnastics back in the day when I was a kid. And there was a sub coach one day. And I always liked the way the girls did their gymnastics, you know, because the guys are like, you know, really stoic. But the girls are like, and I was little. And so I did that, right? For like, this guy's like, go do a round off and back handsprings and everything like that. So I'm like, I'm looking at the floor. I'm like, all right. And he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he was like, what are you, some kind of flaming doughboy? I was like, I don't know what that means, but it's hurtful, sir. Hurtful. So yes.
Yeah, well, I guess being Hispanic, like people assume like, I don't know, that I'm Mexican or something like that, or they assume like racist like comments and, you know, stuff like that. But I'm not Mexican, and a lot of people tend to say, oh, well, she's Mexican, all that stuff. But like not everyone who's Hispanic is Mexican.
Yeah, definitely. Over my lifespan, I've definitely been called names that I didn't like.
It wasn't like I wasn't called a specific name, but these kids were just mean to me when I was younger. And this one boy in particular used to email me, and he said that I had a weird unibrow, but I never actually had one, but it still made me feel really bad about myself.
Oh, I've been called lots of names. It always hurts. But yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head. But yes, there's been bullying before.
Well, sometimes people call me weird, but I think that it's kind of good just to embrace that, because so I've stopped taking that as an insult and started being like, yes, I am weird and I'm unique, and I know a lot of people who agree with that.
It made me feel a whole range of things: embarrassed, judged, misunderstood, other, disliked, uncomfortable, and also angry.
How did it make you feel?
Bad, obviously. Really bad. Really sad. I was like, wow. Hurtful, sir. Hurtful. Not since the 90s. I don't think I've ever used it.
I've never say that word.
how do you feel when other people say it?
I just don't like the feeling of that word. It sounds bad. Oh, nice. Weird. Yeah.
I did when I was younger. It was kind of a thing that people said for, you know, that's ridiculous, essentially. And I had a friend who said, could we just say ridiculous instead of retarded? And that seemed perfectly easy. And I think I definitely remember the way that I started to kind of understand how offensive that word is when it's used in the wrong context. When people would say that's gay all the time, and that really hit me, that was really annoying to me, that's not what they meant. They weren't saying it was gay, they were saying it was something really negative. And I was kind of able to make that connection, but I may not have if I hadn't understood it and felt the same way about a different word that was used derogatorily.
I think it was so oversaturated, like in the 90s, and it became synonymous with like stupid. Like so did gay at that time. Like when I was in high school, like, oh my God, that's so gay. And people meant it in a really derogatory to be stupid, not to even mean like homosexual. They meant it as stupid. And retardation became the same thing. And it just was really inappropriate, and it was an abuse of the word. So yeah, I think it just slipped away from my vocabulary, and hopefully most people's.
So my brother is severely autistic, and so I've grown up living in a household and having to re-educate myself, and my family being re-educated, so I've always been very acutely aware of special needs.
I know a few people. At my old school, they used to let kids with different disabilities into the normal classrooms, and I was friends with some of them because they're not exactly different from other kids. I mean, yeah, they might have trouble walking or hearing or talking as fast as somebody. But like the ones I was friends with, he was really nice, he was smart, he was funny. It wasn't really any different.
I mean, my hope is that you don't always have to know somebody with any certain one thing to show compassion to them or be interested in gaining a better understanding. My hope is that you can gain that through movies, for example, or literature, or conversations with other people. But I definitely think it helps when you know somebody who's directly affected by other people's either misinformation or insensitivity. Yeah, I think that is helpful.
I think to spread the word, of course, that's a different question, but I think involvement is the most important thing. People need to have a personal connection to people who are involved in special needs as well as the Special Olympics, to watch how much they enjoy taking part of things that they're normally not usually involved in or accepted in. Their face just lights up, and it changes their world to be accepted. It's a very, very moving experience. I think here in LA, we just hosted the Special Olympics. So I think even if you're just viewing it as an outsider, that's one way to spread awareness. But as far as spreading the word, I think maybe mixing participation. So instead of it being an us versus them, trying to get more of a collaborative event.
If you want to do something to help, there's a few things. First of all, don't use the word yourself, and make sure that if you hear someone else doing that, tell them no. I mean, it's really just the same as calling someone names. It's not like if you hear your friend calling other people really mean things, it's just the nice thing to do. So the same goes for this word. So just spread the word to end the word.
In my life, the most effective thing has been somebody that I care about having a conversation with me about how something makes them feel. So I think it's more conversations with your peers, with people that you have a good relationship with. I think that's most effective. And I think that's something that everybody is capable of doing, which is why it's an ideal tool, is that everyone has that ability to say, hey, this is something that I'm thinking about. This is how I feel about this word being used, and this is why. And do you think that you could not use that word and maybe spread that word? I think that that's most effective, kind of grassroots marketing.
Well, I think just that general awareness, really, right? Like teaching people that this is not a descriptive word. This is a derogatory word. Just like we've identified so many words, in our general society, it's just not appropriate, right? Be descriptive, use the right words for the right things. And since that has become a derogatory word, you're not using it, there's no good context for it, right? So I think talking about that, and whenever that does come up, educating people on that, so I think that's the best way to do it.
Shouldn't we write something on it?
If you want to help out, the best thing that you can do is not use
Wait. Can you guys close the door?
Yeah. And you can come in a second. Just let me finish this quickly. Thanks for coming by. Okay.
Are they like gonna do? Oh, hey.
Yep. Fun fact, I thought the Flaming Doughboy one was pretty good. It was a fun fact. And if any of you ever repeat that story to anybody,
I will
It's on video.
it's on video. You're like, oh, we're just gonna show the school.
Okay.